Okay, you guys, so today I'm going to walk you through all of the steps of all of our Huneke products. Now, Huneke is our soft gel system, okay? It's not really designed to do building of nails, sculpting of nails. Some of our products you may be able to use over tips or over just a very short enhancement, but that's not really what they're designed to do. So I'm going to give you some information as to what they're really designed to use for, okay? Okay, so let's start with our first product. So this is Huneke in the pot. This was kind of the old school, one of the original soft gels that we had, okay? So Huneke in the pot is basically designed as an enhancement over a natural nail. It's going to be similar in application to your hard gels, but only because it's coming from the pot, not from a brush. It's designed to give that natural nail a little bit more durability, a little bit more thickness, but this is a very thin viscosity, very self-leveling. So if you apply too much, it is going to run down the sides and down into the cuticle. So make sure that if you're applying it a little thicker, that you get it into the light right away. So I do recommend just a thinner coat, okay? And you can add as many coats as you need and just kind of build up that structure a little bit more, but definitely thinner coats as you go. We've got our 3-step Huneke system, okay? So base coat, color, and top coat. So we're always going to start with our base coat, brush on a coat of that. Now, similar to the Huneke in the pot, if you feel like your natural nail needs a little bit more durability, maybe their nail polish or their gel polish tends to chip a little bit more, maybe they're a little bit more rough on their hands, again, similar to the Huneke in the pot, you can do an extra coat or two of the Huneke base just to give that natural nail a little bit more durability, okay? So you're going to do your base coat. After your base is cured, you're going to cure that for 30 seconds to freeze. If you're working from hand to hand, you can freeze that first coat into place. Otherwise, a full cure is 60 seconds. So to fully cure any of these products, it's going to be 60 seconds. Okay. So after your base coat is cured, you can go into your color. We've got a whole different variety of colors that you can choose from. These are, again, soft gel polishes, and they can be soaked off. So depending on how you apply your products, you can either soak them off or you can file them off. Okay, so our color, you're going to apply one coat just like you would a traditional polish, kind of a gel polish. You're going to get that into the light and cure that for, again, a minimum of 30 seconds. Okay, and full cure is 60 seconds. We usually do 2 coats of the color, just depending on what color it is. On some of your more pastel colors, you may decide that you want to do a 3rd coat. If you're applying your coats fairly thin, you can do a 3rd coat to get that really good, even, solid coverage. But most colors are going to be 2 coats, again, curing each in between. Now, as you're working with our Huneke system, every coat is going to have a tacky surface on it. You need to make sure that you leave that tacky surface on it. Don't try to wipe that off in between. It's there for a reason. With gels, a gel needs either a textured surface or it needs a sticky surface for the next coat to grab onto. So if you cure that nail and then wipe off that tacky surface and you try to put another coat of your color on, that next coat is going to have more of a tendency to chip or peel off because it doesn't have that sticky surface to adhere to, okay? So as you're going from coat to coat, make sure that you leave that tacky surface, okay? Okay, so again, base coat, 2 coats of color, and then we have our choice of top coat. So just our traditional Huneke top coat, that is a shiny top coat. It's going to give you a really nice high shine. Otherwise, we have our Huneke matte top coat. Now this is more of a matte sheen, so it's not a solid matte. It's not like that velvety kind of a matte. It's got just a hint of a sheen, but it is the matte, so it's not like the shiny top coat. It is a matte, okay? So again, these are just brush on. You're going to brush them on just like you would any of your other polishes, gel polishes. Again, just brushing on, polishing on like you normally would, okay? Not a whole lot of tricks to it, but what I will say is when you're brushing your product closer to the cuticle, I start a little ways away and then push my brush up and then come down the sides. That way it's going to get a nice clean cuticle and then you can brush through to smooth it out. Now, you can see I've got a little bit of product on my skin. Make sure that before you cure your product, go through and clean off any product that does get onto the skin before you cure, so that way it's not going to adhere to the skin and cause issues with chipping or lifting or peeling, okay? So again, as with any of these coats, 30 seconds in the light to freeze it, a full minute to cure all the way through. With our Manicue color, you can do 2 coats of your color and then your choice of our top coat. So on this one, I'll just use our Manicue top. This is our shiny top coat. And then again, you're going to cure that a full 60 seconds at the end. So at your last coat of product, make sure that you're not just freezing it. Make sure that it does go into that light for the full 60 seconds. So once our Manicue top coat comes out, it does have a tacky surface on it. Now, because these are soft gel polishes, we want to make sure that we're using our Manicue cleanse, not swipe, to remove that tacky surface. So swipe can actually dull the surface of your nail, whereas the Manicue does not have any of that acetone, so that's what we want to make sure we're using to remove that tacky surface. Okay, again, just a quick little pump, and you're just going to wipe off that tacky surface and cleanse that off. So it's going to end up nice and shiny with no stickiness. Okay. Now, we also have our one-step system, which is our Go Time. So Go Time is still a soft gel. Any of these soft gels you can soak off, or you can file them off, just depending on your preference, but being a soft gel, you can soak them off. The Go Time, it's a one-step, so you do not need a base coat or a top coat. You're just going to polish on your color. So if this were my natural nail, I would have prepped the nail, pushed back the cuticles, removed the shine, cleanse it with swipe, and apply a coat of Protein Bond. Now, if you are somebody who wants to soak off your gel polishes, I would recommend using your Protein Bond just at your free edge. So just right through that free edge. So that way when you go to soak off, you don't have that extra bond holding that product on over the natural nail. Okay? It is still going to soak off that free edge, but it's just going to make things much easier. Now, if you're somebody who does file off, you can always Protein Bond the whole nail. Now, with your Go Time, with your one step, again, it's just a one step. You don't have a base coat or a top coat, so you're just going to polish on your color. You can polish this onto a natural nail. You can also use any of our gel polishes over an enhancement. You're going to just do 2 coats of it, no base coat, no top coat. Once it's cured, there's no tacky surface to wipe off. So once it's done, it's done. Okay, so it's just a really nice, quick, easy application, especially over those enhancements, so that you don't have that extra layer of base coat, you don't have an extra layer of top coat. So with the Go Time, it stays really nice and thin over those enhancements. So our next set of soft gel products is going to be our Conversion Base and Conversion Top. Now, Conversion was originally designed to work with our Young Nails polish system. So the polish it's a traditional air dry system, but we got a lot of people asking, can we use a gel top coat over a traditional air dry polish? Now, my answer is yes, you can use the Conversion Base and Top. So this is going to work as kind of a sandwich. So you're going to start with your Conversion Base coat, apply that to the nail, and then you're going to cure that, and then apply your Young Nails polish in between. Okay, so Conversion Base coat, color, and then if you're going to do a second coat, you do need to use another coat of the Conversion Base coat, and then a second coat of your color. Okay, so it's sandwiching those layers of your polish in between that soft gel to really kind of transform or convert your traditional polish into a gel polish. Okay, and then seal with your top coat. Now make sure that if you are doing this, make sure that your layers of your polish are pretty well dry before you put your next coat of gel on. If you sandwich your 2 coats of gel, or you sandwich your color in between your coats of gel, and that color hasn't had a chance to set yet and dry, those solvents are still going to remain on that nail. They're still going to be sealed in between there, and they have nowhere to evaporate. So that layer of polish is never going to get a chance to dry, and that's where people tend to have issues with their product chipping or peeling off. So if you're using the Conversion Base and Top to sandwich in your polishes, make sure that it's dry in between. So the conversion base and top coat, again, that was originally designed to work with our traditional polish, but you can also use it with our slick pour. So if you're doing a dip service, technically a dip service, you can, instead of using the resin, the adhesives, you can use the conversion base and top coat and sprinkle your dip powders into that. So again, you're going to put a coat of your base coat, sprinkle your powder into that, and then cure it. Okay? And then again, if you need to do a second coat, you can apply that as well. And then finish with your top coat. The conversion base and top coat is again going to have a tacky surface. So again, you want to make sure that you're using your Manicure cleanse to remove that tacky surface. The next two products I'm going to show you are the newest ones to our line. And I'm guessing at this point you guys have all had a chance to use the fiber gel. Now fiber gel is very different than any of our original soft gels. It's actually very different than a lot of things that are on the market right now. So what fiber gel is, it is a thicker viscosity. So let me show you this. This is definitely a thicker viscosity. If you take your brush out and it's thick like that, don't worry, that's exactly what it's supposed to look like. Okay, we get a lot of questions, a lot of people saying, my fiber gel is really thick and I'm not sure if it's bad. It's not bad, that's just how it's supposed to be, because it is a little bit more of a structuring gel, okay? So again, this is in one of our other colors. This is our nude. Okay. So this is our cover nude. So again, it's a little bit thicker. So when you apply this to the nail, if you want to polish it on a little bit thinner, if you feel like, maybe your client doesn't need a lot of structure, you can just polish on a thin layer. Okay, you can polish on a couple of thin layers if you prefer to work a little bit thinner. Now, be careful that you're not working too thin, because really the main point of this fiber gel are the fibers within the gel. So the fibers in there, they actually will form kind of form a mesh. So they all kind of bond together. They get kind of woven together within that gel to really form that mesh and really help protect and hold your nail together. So this is a great product to use on maybe clients that have thin, brittle, damaged nails. I have a couple of clients who I have had no luck with keeping anything on them because their nails are so thin, so fine, so delicate. But the fiber gel works to really protect that natural nail and really hold it together. So it's a great product for giving those clients a little bit more structure. Okay. Now, if you do want a little more structure, if you want to build up a little bit more, instead of brushing that thin layer on, you can actually float this a little bit more and build that up a little bit more. Okay, so I'm putting it definitely a little bit thicker. Okay, so again, if you want to, you can build a little bit more. If you want to build an arch, you can kind of build a little bit of an arch. Okay. So again, that's going to give you a little bit more structure. Now, if you are floating your product on, make sure that you get that into the light right away and at least freeze it for 10 to 30 seconds just so it stops that movement. Okay, it is a self-leveling kind of a gel, so it will keep moving with gravity as long as it hasn't been cured. So get it into the light right away and set it into place, and then you can work on the next nails. So with the fiber gel, you don't necessarily have to do a top coat with it, and you definitely don't need a different base coat with it. You use it just by itself, but if you want that really high shine, you can go back to your Manicure top coat and do a coat of your Manicure top coat to give it that really nice high shine. Either way, it is going to have a tacky surface, so again, you're going to want to use your Manicure cleanse to remove that tacky surface. Okay, again, just give it a quick wipe and you'll have that nice finish. And then the latest, greatest addition to our collection is our cream clays. Now the cream clays are a very different consistency than any of the rest of our soft gels. They actually, to me, they feel more like pudding, okay? They are a thicker consistency in the pot. So you can kind of see that they don't really self-level in the pot. So they're definitely a thicker consistency. We have the solid colors, we have a nude collection, and then we also have our metallics and we have our glitters. just to kind of show you, I'm going to just work over our finished nail here. Make sure that if you are applying these over a natural nail, I would definitely recommend using the base coat, or you can use your fiber gel as a base coat for these as well. These can be used over an enhancement also. But if you're using these, it's kind of, to me, it's the texture of pudding. So you're going to take a little bit of a scoop over them and just lightly brush, okay? So you're going to need to use a gel brush to work that over the nail. But you'll see that it's a very smooth application. Okay? It doesn't take a lot of work. Now this is a soft gel, but it's not the same consistency as your Manicue or your fiber gel or anything like that. It is gonna stay where you put it. It's not gonna run, it's not gonna self-level. So I can work on all 5 of my nails and not have to worry about this product running into the sides or moving at all. Okay, so again, with these, I like to use a base coat on the natural nail and then also finish with a top coat. Now you can see there's really good coverage with 1 coat. If you prefer to use 2 coats, you're definitely welcome to use 2 coats. Just make sure that when you're applying your coats that you're not putting super thick coats. You do want to make sure that it's a little on the thinner side, because if you do apply it too thick, they are very pigmented, so if it goes on too thick, you can have issues with it wrinkling or peeling. So keep your coats thin for the best adhesion and the best curing. Okay, so again, this would go into the light for a 30-second freeze or a 60-second full cure. All right, so I hope some of this helped clear up some of the misunderstandings or misconceptions about all of our soft gels. If you guys do need more information about them, we actually have videos on each of our specific lines. So you can go and check out those videos and get a little bit more information on your application techniques. So hopefully this helped, and have some fun with your soft gels.
Subscribe channel now. Subscribe channel now.